Well, another day, another drama. Andy Cohen and Kelly Dodd seem to be at each other's throats, and John Hill seems to be in the middle of it. Shannon Beador and John Jansen want to plead their case before a jury and see what the jury decides regarding the $75,000 lawsuit that John is suing Shannon for. And then People magazine just released their sexiest man alive, but the internet's a little torn about it. So let's dive in. You're listening to No Filter with Zack Beador, your go-to source for all the latest pop culture and reality TV tea, served fresh all week long. Now, let's dive in. What's up, everybody? Welcome on in, welcome on in, welcome on in. Just a reminder, it is Wednesday and there's a new episode of the Pop Report out right now. So if you want to dive into the Zack, Brianna chicken fry drama, Diddy updates, relationship news, pregnancies, breakups, all that good stuff, then definitely be sure to go and check out the latest episode of the Pop Report. You can listen on Spotify or Apple, or you can watch it on YouTube. The Pop Report with me and Andy Lawani. So check it out. All right. We have a lot to dive in. This drama is like drama. And I don't really, there's a lot. Shots have been fired left and right. And I'm very trepidatious about all of it. But really quickly, I did want to give you guys a couple of quick shout outs to thank you for leaving reviews on Apple Podcasts. If you listen to this show on Apple Podcasts, please be sure to continue to leave the reviews and I'll continue to shout you out. You guys have been flooding me with reviews lately, good and bad. But I appreciate the good ones. This one comes from Jessica. She said, the best of the best. Zack Beador's podcast is the ultimate pick-me-up during a long dog grooming days. He dives into everything from reality TV and relationships to politics, and he's always real, genuine, and never shy to take on his haters. Plus, he's such a cutie patootie. Super easy on the eyes, which makes listening to him even more enjoyable. Well, I'm glad that I'm easy on the eyes while you listen to me. Zack's humor, authenticity, and love for his fans keeps me coming back for more. If you need something to brighten your day, this podcast is it. Thank you, Jessica Karen. Thank you. We also have Rachel B. Rachel B says, top tier, Zack is a breath of fresh air among podcasters. He's upbeat, enjoyable, and thorough with everything he discusses. Zack is always a class act and offers the best food for thought with everything he discusses. I don't think I'm always a class act, right? Because I can be a little crazy, but I appreciate that. Thank you. All right. Keep them coming. I mean, there are a lot more. I will continue to shout them out. So please keep leaving your reviews, ratings on Spotify, and reviews on Apple. Okay. Did Rocky Bang Bang give a review? No, I don't think she gave her. She's too busy with her really smart rocket scientist boyfriend. You know, good for her. Okay. Let's see. Where do we want to start? Do we want to start with? Let's start with John Krasinski because this one has the internet turned upside down. So, John Krasinski, we know him from The Office. He's since done a number of different movies and television shows. Let's see. He was in, I'll just name off a few. We most notably know him from The Office. He was Jim. He was always going after Pam. He was like the goofy white dude in The Office. He was most recently in A Quiet Place, the sequel, Jack Ryan. He was in those films as well. He was in The Office, 13 Hours, Doctor Strange, Aloha, Monsters University. Oh, Apartment 7A. Oh, no, I don't know that one. Something Borrowed. So, yeah, he's done some rom-coms. He's most recently come into more of the action-packed shows, or the action-packed films, sorry. He was just in If. That came out this year. Married to Emily Blunt. I think he's hot. Like, I'm not going to lie. I think he's hot. I've always found him hot. Even when he was, playing the goofy dude Jim on The Office, I kind of found him. I mean, listen, basic white boys are kind of my thing. So he just, as basic and simple as he was, I was kind of into it. He was a cutie patootie. I was very much feeling it. Down for the ride. See, Kristen says he's so hot. Lately, he's been having a lot more. He's been having a lot more, like, hunky, sexy moments. He's doing like men's health photo shoots and all, now he's sexiest man alive. I mean, a lot of these things are PR stunts. Usually, if there's a film that needs to be promoted, a television show, or like if there's some sort of promotion, that's usually when stuff like this happens. Like I've told you guys in the past, like what's in my bag for Us Weekly, those are usually staged, and there's usually like a product that's intentionally promoted through what's in my bag. So, yeah, like, oh, this celebrity is showing us what's in her bag. What a coinky dink. A new copy of her latest book happens to be in her bag. She's just walking around with a copy of her new book that just dropped. So it's a lot of that stuff. So these are typically parts of PR campaigns. And so I don't know if this is to promote his new movie. What is it? If with all the creatures, uncertain of why he was chosen, but it's um, likely due to the fact that there's some sort of PR stunt. Um, he did his whole interview, which, he looks good and the photo shoot looks good. He doesn't have his beard. Some people are like, "Oh, he's really hot when he has his beard." He's, like, all cut now, which I'm here for. But, like, I like him even without the beard. I like him a little doughy. I like him just kinda chill. Like, I just all around I think he's funny, and so funny guys often, when funny guys get hot, like Chris Pratt. Remember when Chris Pratt went from being like, the chubby Chris Pratt, and then he was like all cut up Guardians of the Galaxy Chris Pratt, and everyone's like, oh my God, when did Chris Pratt get so hot? It's kind of like that vibe. They have a personality, they're fun, they're funny. And then when they get cut, you're just like, wow, the ultimate package, right? Because usually, like, funny guys are not the most attractive when they're just funny. Like there's obviously like hotter, ripped guys that everyone's like, ooh, goo goo gaga over. But like the hot, ripped ones that are naturally good looking from the jump, they're usually dumb and not that interesting. Like they just don't have a personality. And that's why people get bored with them. But then when you have somebody like John Krasinski or like a Chris Pratt who becomes hot and they already have their um, personality developed, that's when it gets a little better. Michelle said he pulled a Neville Longbottom. Yes, Neville Longbottom, absolutely. Yeah, because remember he was like the goofy kid from Harry Potter, and then now he's not the goofy kid from Harry Potter. He's like a grown man. He did the photo shoot where he was in his little tidy whities, and you could see his bulge, and everyone was like, "Ooh!" And even I think J.K. Rowling was like, "Ooh." So like, ooh. NW said the ultimate package. Yeah, John Krasinski, he's tall, he's cute, he's funny, he's got a personality, like all the things. Emily Blunt is, you know, she's she got lucky with that one. Well, not lucky because she's not like an unattractive person, right? She's a lovely lady, lovely woman. Yeah. So Sydney said, would Def bang? Yeah, let that be the question of the day. Would bang or would not bang? She bang, she bang, she bang, she bang. Okay, well, that's John Krasinski. Let's talk Shannon Storm's Beador, and then we'll get into the Andy Cohen, Kelly Dodd of it all because there's um, a lot to go on. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, sorry, I just got a text message from somebody about something. Okay, let's see. Oh, Candace Diller just welcomed her baby, Jet Maxwell Lee. Lee? Chris, what's his Bassett? Chris Bassett and Dillard Bassett. Where did Lee come from? Or did she just decide she couldn't pick a name, so she gave him three? Jet Maxwell Lee. Lee is not their last name, right? So it's Jet Maxwell Lee Bassett. Okay. Or are all three of them that name? Oh God, Kelly Dodd is going off. Okay, we're gonna get into the Kelly Dodd of it all in just a second. But so Shannon Beador, according to Radar Online, she and John Jansen are trying to bring the lawsuit before a jury. They both apparently seem to want to bring it before a jury because they both feel confident that they will win their case and a jury will rule in their favor. So she I don't know how she can win this, considering like she wants to not have to pay him back, or I don't. it's unclear what she's even fighting for, to be honest with you. I don't think she's fighting having to pay him. I'm very confused as to the lawsuit. He's now said that he paid her 40,000 and then a second loan. He gave her an original loan for 40,000 and then he gave her a second loan for 35,000 and he wants her to pay that money back. She said that she was agreeing to pay that money back. Well, first I think she said that she would agree to pay to $40,000 back. Um and then he was like, "No, I want the full." And then she's like, "Okay, well, I will pay you the full on, contingent of you signing this non-disparagement agreement." And then he's like, "No, I'm going to continue to defend myself. I'm not going to, allow you to continue to drag my name through the mud." Okay, fine, cool, got it. So now here we are. We've moved on. There's no settlement yet. Like we haven't been able to resolve anything. Now they both want to bring it before a jury. I'm assuming that Shannon's strategy is going to be to go in to show all of the things that she bought for John and all the money that she invested into their relationship for John that she paid for, and hope that the jury will see, oh, well, she paid all of this in their relationship. She bought all of this stuff for him. Therefore, it should be equal. Unless she's going to sue him for all the money that she spent on him, which would be a bit egregious, in my opinion, because it's like those were gifts that you gave. And from what John has said and from what John has shown us, these were two loans that he gave you. They weren't meant to just be gifts. So I don't know how strong of a case Shannon has unless she says, I'm willing to pay him the full $75,000. I just need him to sign a non disparagement agreement and be done and move on. So Coley says he's gonna get ripped in court. She offered a full payback and he said no, he's gonna piss the courts off. Well, no, because his argument was she wanted him to sign the non-disparagement and he wouldn't sign it. And then he's going to say, oh, well, she kept talking about me on the show. And then they're going to reference the footage of the show and the narrative that's been put out in the media as a result of the show. So Sydney says she's going to bring all her little notebook papers. Yeah, all her little papers. That was funny. I mean, I would imagine she maybe hires somebody to make them, a little more formal, not all her little notebook papers, but yeah. End up said, "I would push for the agreement not to talk and just pay him. Screw him." Yeah. Well, that's what she tried. So we'll see what she ends up bringing in court. Cynthia says settlement discussions cannot be brought into a trial. Oh, well, we'll have to wait and see what happens. She seems confident because she's pushing for a trial. She wants to go before a jury. I think again, she's probably going to show all of the money that she invested into their relationship and show that it probably was a lot more than 40,000 or a lot more than 35,000. And to be honest, he probably gave her that money to pay back for all the shit that she would pay for. And he's like, "Yeah, I can afford to loan you 40 grand. Like, sure, you pay for a lot for me. Like, here, get yourself a new face, sweetie." I don't know. But we'll have to see what happens with that and see where that goes from here. But who do we predict is gonna win? I think she's gonna have to pay him out. I think the jury will likely, or the jury can just no, but like, I don't know, I feel like he has documentation. I don't like John Jansen, but I feel like he has a strong case against her, right? Because he has emails of her claiming that these are loans and she will pay him back, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't want it to dig into next season though. I'm kind of over the Shannon John Jansen storyline. But like I said, we shall see. Um, okay, oops. And on that note, dun 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 dun, I did just want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor because today's show is brought to you by Uncommon Goods. Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts that spark joy, wonder, delight, and that it's exactly what I wanted feeling. They scour the globe for original handmade, absolutely remarkable things. Somehow they know exactly the perfect gift for every single person that you know. Some of my favorites are some of the custom barware. I like the custom glasses. I was thinking of buying some for myself last night when I was on Uncommon Goods. I bought myself what was it? The sweater, the dog father, which everybody seems to compliment me on, and they love it because it's so cute. But so yeah, they have like different clothes that fit your vibe. They have different home goods, different self-care goods. They have it broken up for every single person in your life. You can go through their different guides and find, different products that will fit each of those people in your life. From like holiday host and hostess gifts to the coolest finds for kids. So it's, adults and kids that you can shop for. It hits everyone from book lovers to diehard sports fans. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone. So it's not the same old selections that you're just going to find anywhere else. And Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade in the US. They have the most meaningful and out of the ordinary gifts anywhere. They even have gifts that you can personalize, which is what I really love. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/no-filter. That's uncommongoods.com/no-filter for 15% off. You can also use code no-filter at uncommongoods.com/no-filter. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Shop now so that you have it in time for the holidays. Shop, 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 shop your little heart out. Uncommon Goods. We're all out of the ordinary. And not only that, right? Because it's the holiday season, a whoop-de-doo and a tickety-tock. We've officially entered the holiday season, and we know that this time of year, there's all the sugary, carby goodness, right? We have Thanksgiving, we have Hanukkah, we have Christmas, everything that's coming up, and you're probably a little worried about the sugar rampage that might come for you or for your kids. But don't worry, because I've got you covered with your new holiday season secret weapon, and that is BioRay, and specifically their new teen line, which is Raised by BioRay for teens who want to feel good. My family's been taking BioRay supplements for over a decade now. BioRay formulas are the plant-based medicine that you've been looking for. They're tasty liquid tinctures, perfect for the whole family. And their new Raise line is great for helping those angsty teens. They have like Life is Peachy drops to help calm down those moods and bring on the peachy vibes. They have thinking cap drops to help with the ability to stay alert and pay attention. All Systems Glow, which is a nutritious boost that can help charge those picky eaters. If you have a picky eater at home, this can help them stay healthy. And then they also have Dream Machine, which can help your teen wind down from those noisy thoughts before bed. So whatever you need, BioRay has you covered. Give Raised by BioRay a try today. It's their newest line for teens. Just use code Zack, Z-A-C-K, for 10% off your next order at bioray.com. That's code Zack, Z-A-C-K, at bioray, B-I-O-R-A-Y, bioray.com right now and score that 10% off. You'll thank me later. Okay, now let's dive into the Kelly Dodd of it all. Um, She's been going wild lately. So I guess John Hill and Andy Cohen were on Radio Andy, and we're talking about Kelly Dodd. And John Hill made some very unsavory comments about Kelly Dodd. And like, listen, one thing about Kelly is she's got a big mouth and she's going to run her mouth. And it's always going to get her into trouble because she doesn't know when to like not run her mouth. And that's not that I dislike Kelly or that I like Kelly, because there are times where I said she's great television and I definitely enjoy watching her on reality TV. But sometimes she does go a little hard and she does take jabs that are distasteful and she can be very crass, right? But in this case, I think they're both wrong, but I didn't like John Hill's comments about Kelly, where he basically calls her a fat, ugly pig on Radio Andy because he doesn't like her. And it seems like they have, differences politically. And so John Hill, because Kelly made a comment about John Hill and she called him a communist. And he says that, oh, why did you call me a communist? He calls her, all these names and calls her a fat, ugly pig. And then Andy Cohen's like, come on, she's not fat. Ha ha ha. Which is also, I get it when people are just like, it's gross when like, gay men speak so disparagingly of women. Like seeing their exchange, I kind of saw it for myself. And I was like, I don't really love that they're calling her a big fat pig, right? Just a man calling a woman, these names is very distasteful, right? Um, But so she referred to John Hill as a communist, and John Hill responded to that saying that he's like, "Why don't you just call me what you really want to call me, an FAG word?" And she's just like, which to me, when I saw that and I saw him equate the word communist to the FAG word, I was like, I don't like what you're doing there, because if you kind of look at the political landscape, when you look at people that are a little more right leaning or that are, more Republican or more conservative, they often do think that people on the left and, the people that are more liberal leaning, they often do believe that they are communist, very similarly to how the people on the left think the people on the right are fascists, right? Like those are two words that get thrown around pretty often. And just because somebody on the right calls somebody on the left a communist, it doesn't have to do with them being gay. So I did not like that he equated the two and kind of put them in the same bucket, because I'm like, that's not true. That's not accurate. And it's very misleading. Um, and it leans into, which I think people on the right get frustrated with people on the left, is that it leans into this victim narrative of, oh, you're homophobic, you're racist, you're transphobic, you're all these things, right? And um I don't think that Kelly is homophobic or anti-gay. I don't listen to her podcast. I don't really pay much attention to her on social media. So I don't know if she's come out and she's like, I hate gays. I don't think that she has. And I think we use those terms like homophobic a little too loosely, especially these days. Homophobic, racist, all of those things. Like we've thrown those words around too loosely, that I feel like the impact of them doesn't hold the same weight as they should, because I think that those are very important words that we have to be mindful of using so casually. So I did not like John Hill's, equation of communist and the FAG word. Because to me, it's kind of like, oh, well, you just hate me because I'm gay and you want to use a gay slur against me because you're a terrible person. And I think it's a cheap shot, because Kelly Dodd's already a polarizing, controversial figure, right? People already have strong feelings about her. People already think that she's all of these terrible names that they've called her, like racist and bigot and whatever. And I think it's an easy, cheap shot to throw, especially when it gets political, right? It's easy to be like, oh, well, yeah, the woman on the right, the white woman on the right is homophobic, which then Kelly responded to. She did like an Instagram story, or it was a video that she posted on her Instagram. I think it was a reel. And she was like responding to John Hill and she was calling him out. And then I only found it funny, not because I agree with Kelly, but I found it funny because I guess there was an Instagram live where Andy Cohen was referred to as a sissy. And so Andy's like, yeah, he said on radio, Andy, like, yeah, she called me a sissy or something. Or I guess, no, somebody called in with a question for John Hill and Andy Cohen asking about Kelly and whether or not she's trying to get back on, Bravo, and, what he thought about Kelly calling Andy a sissy. And then Kelly's like, you're gonna call me a white lady? She's like, this is my mom. And then the mom's like sitting in the back seat and she like has her phone. She's like, you're gonna call me a white lady? Really? This is my mom. And then she shows the mom and she's like, she's a Garcia. I'm Mexican. She's like, I'm not a white lady. And then she like brings the mom out and the mom's in the back seat and the mom like kind of looks confused at first. It's like, why are you like, what are you bringing me in? And then the mom, you can just see like the light bulb in her eyes. And the mom is like, oh, I understand the assignment. I have to defend my daughter. And then the mom goes hard. And then the mom's like, yeah, yeah, Andy, Kelly didn't call you a sissy. I called you a sissy. Like mom clocked in real quick. I was like, that's the part that I found funny. Like, um, rhetoric aside, politics aside, what they said, like the attacks that they said about each other aside, and I don't think I'm siding with either of them in this, but just seeing, if anything, I'm team mom, because mom read the room. She saw, oh, my daughter wants to ride at Dawn. She needs me, she's calling me from the back seat to come ride with her. And mama was like, let's go. I'm ready. And she clocked in real quick and she was like, yeah, I did. Like, you could just see the confusion on her face. Like, why are you bringing me on camera? What are you talking about? And then she was like, yeah, I did call you a sissy. It was funny. I thought it was hilarious, the mama part, because I was like, you want a mom like that. Whether you're right or whether you're wrong, you want mom to clock in when you need her to clock in. And she didn't skip a beat, right? The second the light bulb went off in her head, and you can see it in her eyes, right? Like she's kind of paying attention. You can see kind of the confusion. She's like, oh, is this live? Are we recording? Like, what is happening? And then next thing you know, boom, mama's like, yeah, you know? Listen, any of you guys that are mothers or have a close relationship with your own mother, you know that's a mama bear and she's ride or die. Whether you're right or whether you're wrong, she's gonna ride with you at dawn. She's like, let's go. Where do we hide the body? And that's what it is, you know? Diane Power says, I always ride for my kids. I got their back every time. Yep. Laura, I'm not sure about bringing her the event. By Laura. Oh, who's Lori? Yeah. I just thought it was funny. I just, I just found it funny that she was, clocking in. But no, I don't care for John Hill, to be honest with you. He was on Disaster Daters our first season, and like he was fine. We didn't really vibe. We didn't have, there was no we didn't hit it off, to be honest with you. And like I don't have anything against him personally. Um, but like this situation with Kelly, I really didn't like. Um like her or not, I still don't think you should be calling her a fat, ugly pig. And I don't think that you should be. And he tried to make it seem like, well, I don't really understand what communist means, but like, just call me what you really want to call me, an FAG word. Like, that's what you really want, because that's who you really are, because that's the intent in your heart. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, you're not that dumb. Okay. Like, maybe you don't fully understand what communist means, but you're not that stupid. Like, let's not pretend that really are that dumb. Um, no one loves John Hill like John Hill. That is true. That is true. Velda says, I support my kids, but won't support wrongness. Well, Velda, you're not a real one then. No, I'm kidding. I'm teasing. Anaconda says, John Hill is very disrespectful towards women. Often I hear him speaking in condescending tones, but don't like Kelly either. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I mean, it's one thing to like see someone's actions and then to call out their actions, right? But it's another thing to like call them names and like speak disparagingly to them. Especially like I get it. Kelly doesn't do herself any favors. Like she has a potty mouth, she's very crass, she's very abrupt, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but still. I don't think I'm not digging John Hill in this situation. Brittany says, my mama taught me how to be that type of mama. My kids will always have a mama bear. I even had to go mama bear at his school. No regrets. You're blessed to be in my kids' life. Listen, I'm like a papa bear with just the people in my life. The other day when I saw like Donna Bowling, she was like getting all that heat online and she was getting all these mean messages. I like went on Instagram stories and I'm like, I need to set the record straight. And I like defended her hard, right? And like there are a lot of fake bitches in this community that we have here, and they're like, I don't want to get in your drama, I don't want to be I don't want to I'm like, nah, I don't care. Right is right and wrong is wrong, and I'm going to defend the people in my life. And I ride for you. I will ride for you. Listen, what was the Margaret Joseph tagline? I'm a loyal friend, but I'm a lethal enemy, which is true. Listen, when I'm on your side, we ride at dawn. I'm Kelly Dodd's mom, Miss Garcia, in the backseat. And I'm not loyal, I am, the most formidable opponent. I will, I got the arsenal ready, like Margaret Josephs. I got the arsenal ready, and you better watch yourself. I'm not I'm not the bitch you want to go up against. If anybody has learned anything about me, I'm not the bitch you want to go up against. And bitches have learned. Fuck around and find out. Michelle says, always be the friend who is on call and directly ready and has the shovel loaded in the trunk. Yeah. RN says, Kelly's mom is awesome. Kelly is right. She is Mexican, not white. That's a racist comment. I am full-blooded Mexican, and John Hill needs to address her correctly. Oof. Snap. Elsie says, if we are enemies, you don't exist to me. So there is no fighting here. Oh, see, that's because you're you're the bigger person. When people are like, Zach, be the bigger person, be classy. I'm like, I'm not that bitch. I'm not classy. I don't care. I got a big mouth. I feel like, I'm a little more loving and kind in comparison to like a Kelly Dodd type. But like, I ain't that bitch. Cassie says, my best friends get more mad than I do about things that happen to me. That's a good friend. Sydney says, "I'm not the bigger person." Exactly. Yeah. Um, Bernice Bernice Dogs says, "I'm disappointed in Andy. He should have handled the situation better." Yeah, I agree. Michelle says, "Interesting that Callie wants to play the 'I'm not white' card, but also wants to play the 'they're racist against white people' card." I think she plays that card as like a to call them on their bluff, right? To, lean into how ridiculous that card is, you know? I think she's trying to make more of a political statement more than she's trying to genuinely say that she believes that they're racist against white people. I think she's trying to call them on the double standard. Um, Brittany says, "Seriously, I hate my friends' boyfriends more than they do." Oh, their boyfriend. Why do you hate their boyfriends more than they do? That's interesting. I mean, I would think enemies, but not boyfriends. Listen. Oh, ex-boyfriends, ex-boyfriends, got it, got it, got it. Got it. Najat says Andy has a lot of people suing him. When there's smoke, there's fire. There's too many people complaining about him. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think, when one person comes out, then the next person, like people like a takedown, right? Like look at Erica back in when the Tom Girardi stuff first happened, and then they were all questioning her and they were all kind of, ganging up on her because it was, the morally correct thing to do. And ultimately she's been exonerated from everything. But like, I think when you see one person down and one person kicks them, then it's like it opens it up and everybody else can then kick them, especially with somebody like Andy Cohen, who's, somebody that's likely going to drive headlines. It's going to bring press attention to their lawsuits. Like, why are you suing Andy when you really want to go after the deep pockets, which are the networks, right? You want to go after NBC if you're going to do that. They drag Andy into it because they want to make sure that it makes headlines. But I don't think he necessarily has the culpability that they seem to be coming at him with, and none of them have won any of their lawsuits. So we'll have to wait and see how that all plays out. But yeah, anything else, guys, before we wrap? I do have to get ready to go to Spotify today. Um, they're having an event. Well, they're having some sort of thing that I'm going to learn. Um, Bernice says, "Did anyone listen to Andy Cohen live today on Sirius XM? Did he bring it up?" I don't know. Has it aired yet? I don't have Sirius XM. How about Rachel's publicist implying she's coming back to it? Why are we listening to that lady? That lady, I can't. Juliet, is that her name? Who cares? Literally, who cares? What? They're gonna invite her on House of Villains season 3? I don't think she's coming back to Vanderpump Rules. And if she does, what an idiot. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not paying attention to it. Same thing, like, I see everybody talking about, the new RHONY and how I guess so in the pregnancy, um in the trailer, so the pigeon trailer for the new, season of RHONY, they had this, like, rumor that, like, "Oh, someone's pregnant, someone's," they had this whole story about somebody being pregnant, and then now we find out in this most recent episode that nobody's actually pregnant. It was Rebecca Minkoff that was trying to play a joke because Brynn thinks that she's boring, so she tried to play a joke about being pregnant, which to me is just like, what, like, dumb, you know? Just dumb. I was like, and even Andy Cohen and Jeff Lewis said on Watch What Happens Live that they thought that it was dumb and they thought that it was a silly, um, they thought that it was like pranks just don't really go well on reality TV. Like it's different with like the Kardashians because I feel like the Kardashians often do pranks on each other and like it just brings us in on their family dynamic. But like when there's a prank that you don't know is a prank, that you're kind of being pranked on the audience, whereas like, we saw it in the trailer and we were led to believe that the prank was real and we saw it in the trailer. Like it's dumb. And Andy even said like he doesn't like pranks on these shows. Like it's just, and Jeff Lewis was really critical about it. And I saw online, I haven't watched the episode. I keep seeing people tweet about it and they're just like, why am I watching this? It's so boring. And then I would respond to them like, yeah, why are you watching this? Like Kate Casey tweeted about it being boring. And I was just like, Kate, why are you still even giving this a chance? So just again, Dumb, dumb, dumb. Dumb. So, I mean, listen, Rebecca Minkoff has to be I thought Jenna Lyons was terrible casting last season, and then they're like, "Okay, you know, here we go." Rebecca Minkoff came and said, "Hold my beer," and she just made it even worse. Like, she's truly an awful casting. Like, no wonder they didn't give her an apple at the end of the season. You know? It's just cray cray. Cray 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 cray. Um, LC says, "Came here to see Zach's take in feud with Adam." What about my feud with Adam? There's no more feud with Adam. Lucy says, "Worst prank ever. They all knew. You're exactly right. A joke on the audience. I don't even want to watch. I gave it a chance this season and I'm so over." Yeah, it's just dumb. Coconut says, "I stopped watching New York after the second episode. Same for Potomac." Yeah. D says, "A hateful socialist communist. I don't get why we aren't talking about Kelly coming for John and Andy for ages. It gets finally turned back on her and we defend her. She body shames people all the time." I don't think I've defended Kelly. I don't think was like, "Oh yeah, I love when she calls people I didn't defend her. I just said I didn't like John Hill's comments either. I've said like Kelly's distasteful and crass and she takes things too far, and I feel like I said all of those things. Um, so yeah, I definitely said I wasn't team Kelly in this. I said if anything, the only one that I'm siding with is the mom in the back seat, Miss Garcia, who's like, "Yeah, let me clock in and defend my daughter." I just thought that was funny. But by no means was I trying to defend Kelly. So but yeah, I agree with you, Coconut. I stopped watching after the second episode as well. I didn't even wanna watch the second I keep trying, and, like, I'll leave it on in the background, and even when it's on in the background, I can't. Yeah, I can't. Danielle says, "Kelly's ignorance has nothing to do with her political party." Yeah, that too. Um, Elsie says, "I originally came here for the former feud, and I'm staying for Zach's personality and fun." Got it, got it, got it. Oh, so you came here for the drama. And now there's no more I'm so glad that, like, I'm not in the drama anymore. Like, I'm just like, I wanna stay out of the drama. I wanna stay away from the drama. My friends have all been, like, in drama together, and I'm just like, "Oh my god, I just wanna stay out of all of it. Just everybody be nice and love each other. For once, I'm not in drama, and I just don't wanna be in the drama." Although I guess I did piss off one of my friends the other night, and I didn't mean to, and it was just like, "Drama." And I'm just like, "Great." I was trying to, like, not play both sides, but I was trying to, like, play Switzerland and stay in the middle and be like, "Listen, I love you, and I love you, and I see your point, and I see your point, but I don't wanna get involved in this mess, okay? I'm gonna stay out of this mess," and then by trying to stay out of the mess, it ended up making it worse, and I'm just like, "You know what? Fuck it. I'm out of it. Peace." Last night's episode pissed off Andy and Jeff Lewis and Watch What Happens Live. Well, Andy's a producer of this train wreck, so I don't know why he's so surprised by it, but it was a terrible episode. From what I have read, I didn't watch it, but from what I've seen people say about the episode and the commentary, and then I did see a clip I think Bravo and Cocktails posted about the final like 2 minutes of the episode. I was like, ooh. Elsie says, "You do drama well, but I like fun sometimes trolling Zach." Well, thank you. Danielle says they trick the audience. Yeah, and the audience doesn't like when you get tricked, when they get tricked, right? This trickery, this treacherous trickery. Okay, anything else before we wrap so that I can get ready? Or well, I guess I'm ready, but so that I can get the dogs ready before I have to go to Spotify. I stopped watching Bravo after last season. Do you think RHONY will get another season? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think RHONY will get another season. I think it'll be put on pause like Dubai. Um, yeah, I don't care. And I don't think there's much more to invest there. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Laura says for your square dancing competition. Am I doing square dancing? Um, AC, thank you for responding. Well, thank you for commenting, Genius. I'm so glad I made a live. Love you guys. All right. Well, I guess if nobody has any other thoughts, feelings, vibes, questions, then have a great day, everybody. I love you. I appreciate you. Erin is pregnant. It came out. Yes, Sarah, we covered that on yesterday's episode of the show. Erin is pregnant, and Candace Dillard Bassett had her baby today. Yeah. All right. Thank you for tuning in to No Filter with Zack Peter. I love you. I appreciate you. You can listen and subscribe on all your favorite podcast platforms and stream it live on YouTube weekday mornings, youtube.com/justplainwithzack. If you want to watch on YouTube, you can also watch the show on Spotify. You can watch No Filter with Zack Peter on Spotify, or you can listen to it on all your favorite podcast platforms. If you want to join the live chat, then join us live in the mornings and come on over to YouTube. All right, guys, I love you. Appreciate you. Give me a follow at Just Been Zack, follow the podcast at No Filter with Zack, and don't miss an all-new episode of the Pop Report, which is out right now. Go tune into the Pop Report. We have a new episode. We're talking about Luke Bryan, Brianna Chicken Fry, Jessica Simpson's potential divorce, Megan Fox being pregnant with I almost said R. Kelly, with MGK, Machine Gun Kelly's baby. Yesterday, I was calling them Megan Kelly because it's Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly, and I accidentally put them together. And I'm like, that's the name that we're going to ship them as, Megan Kelly. Yeah. All right. I love you. I appreciate you. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, guys.